So we found out, though, that there are cases where the flow depth can be biased during wet weather, but not during dry weather. In other words, the downstream pipe and the upstream pipe have basically the same depth, but only in wet weather do we see surcharging, such that the upstream pipe is higher than the downstream pipe. And as you can see in the illustration, this is caused by hanging roots from the top and grease. So getting out and doing inspections during wet weather is also important too. And I would guess that any maintenance guy can tell you where problem areas exist. So comparing depth in dry weather and also in more specifically in wet weather guides you to where you ought to do site-specific maintenance. Top of pipe restrictions, which are typically root and grease, once they line up in wet weather, can create the effect of a significant restriction and cause surcharging upstream, which could create basement backups and sanitary sewer overflows. So the sum up of this section, we talked about using the difference in flow depth and comparing the downstream flow depth with the upstream flow depth. And in the next section, we'll talk about, well, what do you find? And how do you then prioritize maintenance using simple techniques that we used of querying the database and simple charting tools so that you only have to clean where the data tells you to clean.